Devin Booker returns, Jalen Green flies, and Rasheer Fleming is growing before our eyes. That's right, the Suns beat the Kings, and we're talking all about it right after this. Psychos and sickos unite. Can't wake up, everybody. It's super late for a late night edition of the PHNX Suns post-game show brought to you by the Freckle Mamba behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen. I'm Eric. That's Gil. We got Espo, and we got Stephen Bergeron Garner on the end there. It's a full house for a royal flush as the Phoenix Suns sweep the Kings 114-103 on the season series. Never in doubt. If you watched our post-game show, you know we were never worried about the Sacramento Kings. A big third quarter for the Suns. It's late. Things are going to get wacky. But the Suns pick up a win. They're 8 games over 500. Lots of good to take away from tonight. Unless you're Boom Shakalaka in the chat, then it's the worst game you've ever seen.
If you like white boys who can dunk with freckles, Freckled Mamba's your man. Brought to you by the Freckled Mamba.
I was like, oh, I thought you were going to talk about me.
No.
If you like white boys. And I was like, let's go. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I got to welcome everybody in the chat that's hung out with us. I see all of you. Deborah, I see you there. Toby. Yeah, Freckled Mamba, we know you're here. Don't worry.
That's
everybody
like the third
else.
Freckled Mamba.
Glad to have you here. Hit that like button and let's have a little fun. We're wearing the PJs because it is a late night edition of PHNX Suns.
Yes, late night, but a returning night for Devin Booker. Jalen Green also had a pretty good game. Gil, when you look at Book, 17 points, not great shooting, but it still felt like the offense just benefited so much from having him just on the court.
1000%. Thinking about the way things were flowing, the way that we talked about so much, there wasn't this like uncertainty searching for answers. There was so much more organization. And I know the 6 of 19 is not great, but I look at the 4 of 9 from beyond the arc and find a lot of encouragement from that. We were marveling at the catch and shoot 3 that he got early on. He got some quality looks and looked very comfortable and confident in his 3-pointer. So that's my positive takeaway from Devin Booker's performance.
He looked comfortable. That's always my biggest concern when Devin Booker comes back or any of these guys come back from an injury. It did not seem like there was any lingering effects of the hip. Came out was sharp in that first half. A little out of rhythm in the second. That does not necessarily surprise me, especially when we're coming back after a long break from an injury and a weird 4 days off that they had. I saw things that left me encouraged, in particular, like Gil said, the 3-point shooting. So good first night back, but going to need more as they ramp things up.
Yeah, I think he had a solid game. Naturally, if you look at the shooting in the box score and that's all that you choose to take from watching a full 48 minutes of basketball, probably going to be left with a little bit to be desired if that's the aim that you're looking at. But if you're just looking at, okay, this is a player that's coming back from a hip injury, a soft tissue injury, you just want to see what their confidence is, how they're moving. Needless to say, he had his juice tonight. I feel like I mentioned on our live watch along, that he was kind of chomping at the bit to get back on the court. And you could tell he had a certain type of energy, a certain type of bounce to his gallop in the game. And I think start off second possession of the game, he gets a corner crash opportunity, gets one of the Rasheer Fleming type of offensive rebounds where he just gets a hand on it, and it ends up getting to the Suns. I think it's a +1 pass to Gillespie. He knocks down his second 3 within the first couple of possessions. And then a couple other things with Devin as well, defensively. I think he had a solid game. I think some of his help decisions, it hits different when he's on the court with Dillon Brooks, but I think when Brooks is removed from the equation, now you really it's not nice to have those type of moments. Guys need to do those things, and I think Devin's been someone that's done it equally as much as Dillon has as a help defender, and I think it had a lot of impact in some of the things they were able to do to spur some of the runs they went on in today's game.
Yeah, you said he had a bounce in his gallop, no hitch in his giddy up. So I say that's a stable night.
What you got, Eric?
You know what?
Yeah,
man?
so let's
I'll
go
say,
ahead.
I'll say
Let's go ahead
this.
and get
I'll say this.
man.
If you would have had me taking the under on minutes before we had like an Espo pun on this late night, and I feel like 5 minutes in is pretty fair.
I mean, it's 11:45 at night. I've been
No, I'm saying I would have taken the under on the 5
taking
minutes.
the under.
So I
Okay.
feel like we made it
Okay, good.
like too far in
Good.
almost.
I let Steven go for the full analysis, and then I made the joke. I didn't interrupt.
Yeah. No, I mean, look. I was going to do another horse pun, but I'm not going to.
Devin beat it to death, all right?
All right. Calm down. We might need to give you a tranquilizer. Devin Booker.
Nay.
Devin Booker continues to be just the cog of the Suns offense. I know it feels so obvious to say, but when you look at this team without him, especially the games where they scored under 90 points or under 80 points, and it was like, man, why are they doing this? Why are guys missing shots? Why is Jalen Green missing so many shots? Like, what's going on? Well, when you get the defense and movements and rotations, which Devin Booker always gets two to the ball, like, even if he's shooting 6 of 19 from the field, but he had a much better, much more efficient first half. The second half was a little from him. Like, that's just going to go and set the tone. And when you look at some of the other guys around him that had good offensive nights, like, it's not a surprise to me that Collin Gillespie is able to have an extremely efficient night, or Jalen Green, not the most efficient night, but more efficient than he's been his last couple of games, also being able to go and reach 20 points. Grayson Allen almost gained 20 points as well. Book himself didn't go out there and have 40, and he didn't have like 11 assists to go along with it, but it did feel like everybody else, Gil, was able to eat a little bit more just because they were getting a little bit less attention, because somebody who garners a lot of attention was sharing the court with them.
100%. We've been talking about this for a while, how much life gets easier, or how much easier life gets for these guys when the guy is back in the lineup. You talk about gravity, you talk about playmaking, you talk about just the presence generally with that person being on the floor. And I think that you kind of saw that in various times throughout the game, the impact, and to see a game where 6 guys finished in double figures. I know Mark was the last one to join the party late in the game, but there's so many guys who did a lot of things you didn't even recognize or realize the numbers that they had put up. Like Grayson's 18 points kind of went under the radar, honestly, thinking about what he did tonight, and just thinking about the fact that everybody did a little bit at different times throughout the game is just the presence that having Devin Booker is back. In addition to not needing to search for answers offensively, things just kind of come to you more when you have him out there. And I think that that's what we see tonight, and I think that's what we're going to continue to see as he gets back. Because I think that's the important part to remember. This game, in a lot of ways, because of the layoff, but also because of the time that Devin Booker missed, it was really like your first game out of the All-Star break, again, because these guys have not played together in a while. So to see a lot of those things happen today and kind of ease into that, I think we'll see better and better results as time goes on.
Yeah, I think Grayson felt quiet because he was 4-12 from deep, and usually when he gets most notice is when he goes on those heaters from deep, or he does something crazy when he drives the lane. He was effective when he got in the lane tonight, but there was nothing out of the ordinary. So I think that's kind of why it felt like a quiet night overall from him. This was a win. It wasn't anything great about this game. There are a few flashes of things that you saw, but this was a handle your business kind of night, and they handled their business, and you move on. And we talked about it. These 6 games after these 4 days off are imperative to go 4-2, probably 5-1, if you really want to put the pressure on 3 through 6 in the West, as they've bunched up completely. You got to keep right on their tails, and you got to do that with just getting wins like this against lesser teams.
Yeah, and I think the 3 really big positives when it comes from an individual player standpoint are all things that we'll get to here in a second. Obviously, talking about Collin Gillespie, talking about Oso Ighodaro, and Rasheer Fleming, right? Because if you're going to take away something from what many would consider a relatively lackluster win, it would be that. But we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Jalen Green first, just because another interesting stat line for Jalen Green. I definitely think he looked better, but there were certainly some faults out there tonight. In 31 minutes, 20 points, 7 of 16 from the field, 2 of 8 from deep, 4-4 from the free throw line, added 4 rebounds, 1 assist to 7 turnovers, which is a pretty brutal line for him, but 5 stocks for Jalen Green tonight, 4 steals and a block. Steven, what was your takeaway from a very up and down game for Jalen Green?
I liked his mindset. He was very aggressive. It felt like he wasn't doing too much hesitating. Um, I think he spent a lot of time picking his spots and how to get downhill. The Suns did some things to help kind of open up space for him. One of the biggest things was having Devin Booker back on the court with him, and what that does for some of the help decisions that guys typically don't do when he's on the court next to or around anybody else that might have the ball. So I think I start there with his drives. I think the defensive activity is something that we've spent a lot of time talking about. He's better than advertised with. It's more so when he's off the ball. If he's engaged, what does that engagement level look like? But just generally, I guess the turnovers weren't the best tonight, but he's making turnovers being aggressive. And those are the ones that I can always live with because I think he has the right mindset when he's making those types of turnovers.
Yeah, look, we saw the athleticism, which we'd been waiting with bated breath for, to see that true athleticism, a sick dunk from him. We got that tonight. We saw him be aggressive, get to the hoop. Yeah, you want to see him shoot better than 2 of 8. Yeah, you don't like 25% from beyond the arc, but overall, I liked it. The turnovers, I can live with a lot of them because he was being aggressive, trying to get in the lane. I don't think he's still comfortable with where his teammates are going to be in a lot of those situations, and on how fast he can make that decision, because he's getting the defense to collapse on him. He's not getting the kick out to his teammates at that point. I think that'll come. Now he's never going to be the perfect guy in those situations, but I think he can get better once he gets more comfortable with the group.
Few things that stand out to me with the performance. I believe that one assist was to Devin Booker on the catch and shoot 3, right? So we talked about that. Get used to seeing that, everybody. We're going to see more and more of that. And obviously, I think there's ways when you look at it, and Stephen, we always talk about sometimes the box score can confirm what your eyes see, and sometimes it doesn't. But to that point, 2 away from 3, 7 of 16 from the field with math. That means he was 5 of 8 inside the arc. Obviously, one of those 5 was the big dunk, which excited each and every one of us. When you look at the shot chart, he's 4 of 6 outside of that dunk, 4 of 6 inside of the painted area, inside of the arc, or inside the paint. And that's encouraging. Espo, you talked about it during the game. You want to see that shot diet change a little bit and, not force so much. And Steven, you talked about that as well, kind of getting to his spots differently. And you also talked about him playing off of 1 foot, how that puts him in spots where sometimes he's in a spot where he turns the ball over. But I find a lot of encouragement. We talk about the rim pressure, and you see that 6 shot attempts, not including that fast break attempt around the rim. That is what this team needs. And as he gets more comfortable playing off of everybody, we'll see more of that. And that's going to open things up, and we'll see a higher level of efficiency across the board.
This was so encouraging for me because it was a positive step, right? We've seen with Jalen, there was almost like this little bit of a plateau where it was like, ooh, are you trusting yourself? Are you feeling good? Like you're shooting poorly. Not only did he not shoot as poorly, he didn't take as many shots, right? And with Devin Booker coming back, you wanted to see that even out. And yeah, the athleticism, I don't know if it's like you're jingling keys in front of a baby with me, but it's like, that's what I want to see, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see him run on the fast break, go catch a lob, and tear the rim down, because that's what kind of sparked that team in the first half. Devin Booker smiling on the bench. The guys are getting hyped up. Like, those are the types of plays that Jalen Green, yeah, he might miss a couple of contested threes, or he might turn the ball over a couple of times. Hopefully he could scale those things back, but as he scales those back, hopefully he can scale these huge, big time, momentum shifting athletic plays up, because that is the type of guy and the type of energy that this team needs sometimes. That was really encouraging to see him run on the fast break and throw down that oop.
Well, we were sold on the athleticism. We were sold on those highlight plays that he was going to provide. It's like being sold a car that it can go from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Wow, that's amazing. But guess what? I'm never going to drive it above 45 because I don't like the freeway. It's like, yeah, what's the point then? I want to see those athletic dunks. I want to see those moments from Jalen Green. I understand that sometimes he'll be inefficient other places, but when I see that kind of moment, I go, that's exactly why you got this young man, because it can shift momentum. And that dunk was one of the few payoffs we've had so far this season when it comes to Jalen Green's athleticism.
I think it's important too, just real quick on Jalen. I think it's game 14 or 15 in this stretch or now. So actually just thinking about it's going to take time. And as you said, Eric, taking steps in the right direction, just clearing some benchmarks, going there, He's not going to be a finished product at this point, given everything that's gone on this season. But as long as he's moving in the right direction, you should be encouraged.
Leading scorer for the Suns tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Like, we have a bunch of critiques. He still finished with 20 points.
And I don't remember exactly who it was in the chat, so forgive me. It was probably Aiden because I just steal everything he says. But somebody brought up a good point that there were those 2 threes that Jalen
It was
did
Aiden.
hit. Was it? Okay. Thank you, Aiden. That was there. It was Aiden. All right. I'm not even doing the bit from pregame. So he said he would have been 4 of 10 from 3 though if those 2 calls where he stepped out of bounds and then I believe it was a travel. So Aiden, yeah, I did just steal that from you, but I gave you credit. So and Rasheer didn't get 10 points, so I didn't have to drink milk out of Rasheer.
Steven, final thoughts on Jalen?
Yeah, we're also like blending Jalen and Devin together since we talking about those two to start the show. For me, the Suns being thrown switches defensively when teams are defending against them, it's been something that hasn't been the most fun for them to solve outside of Devin Savas. You can do that, but it can't be – that's not what this roster is built for him to have to do 50 to 60 possessions of the time that he's on the court. Can he receive those opportunities? And to the point you brought up, Gil, which I brought up as well, Devin being able to receive catch and shoots, but in the right type of process, Jalen goes to get a paint touch. Now the kick out opportunity is to Devin Booker, or it's to someone else that's able to make the pass that gets to Devin. Like, those things are very repeatable moments, but I don't think without the mindset part that we talked about with Jalen, they can get to, if teams are wanting to switch that, telling them, okay, cool, we're going to still go get the shots we want with the type of tempo we want in the half court, I think is as important as anything. And again, Jalen, yes, the turnovers are the turnovers, but I think he just had the right mindset. Him having the right mindset is what's going to help make Devin Booker's overall impact be that much better. It's probably going to set the tone for him to be able to kind of take things home for them with having a little bit more energy than having to start the tone and finish the game for them in those respects.
Well, it was an okay night from Jalen Green. We saw improvement, some good things to take care of, but a work in progress, like Boom says, but he says it in a negative way. I'm saying it in a positive way. We could continue to grow with Jalen Green. Huh?
It was a perfunctory game.
That's an SAT word there.
Wow. I literally thought you just made up a word.
I did. No, I'm just reading.
Hey, we're gonna
No
go to
way you pulled out
perfunctory town tonight.
perfunctory.
I'm
Is it on the screen?
yeah, Boom said it's
Of
perfunctory
course,
game.
Boo, of course.
No, that wasn't me.
It's midnight. It's almost tomorrow, but we're going to talk about tonight's game and the real reasons why the Suns won. Our dudes of the night, our blue collar boy. We're going to have some more fun on the other side of our first break.
Mountain America Credit Union.
And Dad Reed. Boom.
All you need to know, right? You also need to know, Gil, you're probably still looking for a place to put your money. I know you told me you were stuffing it under the mattress.
Shoebox.
Shoebox, even less secure. The way you can get it even more secure, though, is with our friends at Mountain America Credit Union. You can get that My Lifestyle checking account. You can get that Suns card, or you can get that Mercury card. Steven rocks that one. And we all should proudly. And it's great, though, when you get it with the My Style checking account, because you're going to get mobile phone protection, restaurant deals, telehealth access. I don't let you guys go to the doctor, so you got to do it through telehealth. Identity protection. Nobody wants to be me, but you might want to be these 3 guys. Loan rate discounts if you have time to go look for a house or a car, which some of us may need to do. You can do that with them. And offers on travel, events. You don't get vacations, so you can't do that. And so much more. Visit macu.com/mystyle. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require no cost activation and registration. Terms, conditions, exclusions apply. Insured by NCUA.
How about some good news to go into your Wednesday? The Window Depot is now introducing flooring. That's right, currently available at all Tucson stores and coming to Phoenix soon. The Window Depot is just adding to the list of what they can provide with you. It's not just windows, it's doors, skylights, cabinets, countertops, sinks, and floors.
And floors. Great googly
more.
moogly.
I'm floored.
Serving Arizona since 2002, they're the best place with the best price and the biggest inventory. Plus, you can go to thewindowdepot.com and you can go and browse their entire selection. And the best part is you can shop online, you can pick up in-store. There's no memberships. It's all there, ready for you. Plus, they have in-house designers there to help you plan your space at no extra cost. So visit thewindowdepot.com, get started on your next project today, or stop by one of the Window Depot's 7 Arizona locations and see for yourself why they're way more than just a window store.
We just crossed midnight.
Wow.
I could have made a hardwood joke there, but I wasn't sure if we were past midnight. So.
Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for PHNX Suns After Dark. I will say, not as zany as an episode so far as I imagined.
We left all our zany in pregame and watch along.
I will say, yeah, the watch alongs get wild.
This is like the come down off the high right now, I think.
Which is
Back
perfect.
down to earth.
This is perfect, yeah, because I'm going to get high on our dudes of the night. Of course, presented by friends over at Gila River Resorts Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts Casinos. Visit playedgila.com for more details. Dude number 1 is Oso Ighodaro, only the second player in the play-by-play era to record 10 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block in the first half. Second to who, Gil?
Marcin Gortat.
Oh, the Polish hammer, the Polish gazelle, my boy, Marcin.
Who was on the Phoenix Suns when that happened. Oso ended up with a great stat line, 14 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block, a plus 21, 8 offensive rebounds for Oso Ighodaro, who was 7 of 10 from the field, and 26 minutes. Yet another game, and we'll talk about the other side of this a little bit later, but yet another game where Oso Ighodaro was the best big man on the court for the Suns. A really impressive showing. He continues to get better, Steven.
He does. Just very steady at this point. And I think that steadiness, and I'm double checking his minutes total from today.
26.
26. So not as many minutes as it felt like he did. He was out there for some long stretches again. That's starting to become more commonplace for him. His impact on the defensive end is felt immediately. And again, it's not just the switching in terms of being able to guard multiple players, but impacting things when he's doing so. Even if he isn't switching, maybe he's in a drop for a possession or so, still finding moments to have impact on whatever decisions being made on the ball while helping other guys on the periphery stay in position to be successful defensively too. And to that point, even if he's just not involved in primary action at all, he's just making help decisions. His impact with that as well, like that's just such a resounding effect type thing for their defense on the margins, which then naturally puts them in position to be successful getting rebounds. And when they do that, they've been one of the best transition teams in the league. They lead the league in transition 3-point attempts. That's not by happenstance. That's the goods that they get when they actually close a possession and put a period at the end of that sentence. Oso is as big to that as anybody, and I think those rebounding numbers led the team with 14 tonight. That's not by happenstance, and I think he led the game. Yes, he led the game with 14 rebounds as well, only playing 26 minutes. So kudos to Oso. Oso is a very good player. I've been enjoying the season from start to now, and I still think he has room to get even better this season alone.
Yeah, I think he's been an exclamation point more than a period there with what he's been able to do. And I'm gonna say it. We're amongst friends. It's well past the witching hour here. Oso Ighodaro is the best center on the Phoenix Suns right now. And yeah. I think by a pretty wide margin at this point, with everything he does, with how aggressive he's been on offense, his impact on defense, his ability to get boards now, the energy that he brings and the synergy that he has with the team, as the Freckle Mamba has dubbed him. He is the connector, and it is shown this year. So, that is, yeah,
I mean, it's a good and it's a bad thing, right? I mean, if I told you that at the beginning of the season, you would think one of a couple things. One, Mark Williams isn't healthy, or two, Oso Ighodaro got really, really good. I don't think you would look at the third one, which was Mark Williams feels like he's regressed over the last couple of months.
I think Oso Ighodaro has gotten really, really good.
And I agree. It's a good and a bad thing. It's good because Oso has gotten so much better, but it's also been kind of married with Mark Williams' impact declining, where it's like, well, could you have both? Porque no los dos. Like, can I have both good centers on my roster at one time, please?
I don't speak Spanish.
You live in Arizona, you don't speak Spanish?
I understand it. I don't speak it. No, you're right. Like, it shouldn't be only one thing can be true at a time, right? They both should be able to play impactful roles. The reality is right now that Mark isn't, but Oso has lifted his game in a way that, I'll admit it, in November I thought everybody was insane for what they were trying to tell me what this kid could do, in particular Steven and the flag bearer, the Freckle Mamba behind the Mac there, but he's lived up to it and more. There's an obvious reason why they stuck with him, and it's what we're seeing now.
I think it's interesting to point out what you were saying during the watch along about how much he's transformed physically.
Oh, he's gotten ripped
over the past year or so, and I think back to the conversation we were just having about big men and the state of big men in the NBA, and you look in Boston, you look in Charlotte, and you kind of look at how they've gotten these guys who are a little more physically imposing than Oso is right now, but they figured out how to get the most out of them and work around their limitations and then make the most of their strengths. And I think that very different player Oso here, and does a lot of different things and is more skilled than your typical center in the NBA. But I think that the Suns are kind of rounding into that situation with him. A guy who can play off his energy, a guy who can create for others with the way that he plays. And we've seen the two-man game he has with Collin a lot. We see the energy on the offensive glass. And I think that the more we see him play with Jalen and Devin, see him be a lob threat, a finisher around the rim, a guy who can go downhill. He got the push shot going, which is something that has mixed, people have mixed feelings about the push shot every now and then. But he can score off his energy. He can score off of a few different types of actions as well. And if he can go and get you 7 to 11 points on any given night like that, get you 7 to 11 rebounds on any given night like that, then you mix in what he does defensively and the presence he has there. You mix in the playmaking chops, screening. Don't set illegal ones. But if you can do those things, you have yourself basically all you need from the center position to be successful in this modern day NBA. Like we talk about the shooting, all that stuff. That is just extra. That would be extra credit. I mean, that's something that's years down the line. But what he's turning into is something that is basically all you need to be a successful team in the NBA.
And it's fascinating. I mean, his development has been so much fun to watch. And there's been a lot of development from these younger guys. And we'll get to one specifically in our next segment where he really flashed tonight as well. But you've seen the Suns take players that they believe in for a certain skill set, and maybe they're on the skinnier side, or maybe they don't have a jump shot, or maybe they're a little bit more of like a raw prospect. And now you're starting to see some of the fruits that they've won to bear from the labor that they had. Like, it has been a really great progression for Oso Ighodaro, and we're starting to see that with other young guys. So it's nice to see that when there have been some other things that have been struggling. Somebody who didn't struggle tonight is our other dude of the night, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. It's Collin, don't call him Connor, Gillespie. 17 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 8 from deep, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, and a steal, a plus 15 on the night. NBC is nothing but Connor. Is that what you said, Espo?
Collin. I said Collin.
Because it's like when he hits these threes, it's like, oh, well, that's Connor that showed up. But then it's also like, don't call him Connor because it's disrespectful, you know?
I mean, I guess if you embrace it, you come out and you play this well on NBC, call him whatever the hell you want. I mean, if it works, it works, right? And he is, every time they've shown up on NBC, seemed to step up his game in a new and unique way. And again, that was a guy we worried had he hit a wall because he hadn't played this much. I mean, I believe they had the stat on the broadcast. He's had 8 20-point games this season so far. He had 1 in his career prior to this. So, bless you.
Thanks.
Stats game?
I'm allergic to motion.
Yeah, and then they gave that white boy a lot of motion tonight.
See?
So I think that you got to like what you're seeing from Collin and being able to kind of push through that wall, find that second wind this season. And I still think once he winds up back in that 6-man role, a lot more is even going to click too. If he winds up back.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a guarantee at this point.
Not a coincidence either. We talked about seeing Devin and Jalen play and watching them play off each other. But again, Collin had the most efficient night of anybody with percentages-wise. And it was on a night where she shared the court with Devin Booker and Jalen Green. So you can't worry about him that much. And I think that's what he's best suited to be, in that position where you can't worry about him and he can make you pay, and we saw it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 threes he knocked down, the catch and shoot, but also the pull-up pockets that they're being intentional about in their pick and roll process, finding those or creating those opportunities to free their guys to take those shots that they like to take in the rhythm that they do. Collin is probably the guy that's appreciating everybody being healthy in the guard group. I think I mentioned that in pregame. He's probably the one that's appreciating that as much as anyone. And I think this is not a coincidence that he had this game tonight. Once they have that collection of talent back in full, now he's able to play to his strengths and then get into a certain type of rhythm that makes teams pay for the attention that they give to anybody else that's in that guard group when he's on the floor in those different combinations or trios for that matter. And then the other thing for me, man, defensively, he is really, really good. Again, I said it earlier this season, he's gone from being pesky to being impactful. Pesky being a guy that just plays with a lot of energy, and the energy spills into opportunity. Now he's impactful, where he's starting to anticipate things defensively, and he's taking things away. He's guarding his yard well. You can't force him into the post and take advantage of him down there because he's stout, and he's good with contests. DeMar DeRozan gets to switch with him, beats him to a spot using his moves, but Collin is clever enough to understand how to contest from the side or from behind at times to just impact the release from a guy, force a missed shot, and now the Suns are out on a break. Another one for me, the Jalen Green alley-oop dunk, the attention goes to Jalen, but you don't get Jalen getting the opportunity if Collin isn't playing with that anticipation part. Not on the ball this time, off the ball. Maxine Reynaud is trying to get into some delay action, turns his back to the weak side, and Collin shoots the gap from the backside, steals it, goes to retrieve it, and then finds Jalen on the oop after that. Those moments are very, very timely from Collin, and he's coming up with so many of them defensively that it's not just like a run-of-the-mill, like a happenstance thing. Like, he's finding these pockets, and he's finding ways to impact the game past just scoring the basketball. And again, if you're going to be an impact role player, if you're going to be someone like J.J. Redick mentioned to me as T.J. McConnell with the jump shot, there's a no nights off mindset where if your shot's not falling, you have to find ways to have impact. And he did that a lot tonight.
And not to mention 9 assists, 6 rebounds along
That's
with
what I'm getting at.
Like it's the great defense, it's the great shooting, and then at the same time, he's probably the second best, if not maybe third best passer on the Suns. It's him, Grayson Allen, and Devin Booker, with Devin Booker being one. You could decide the other two however you like it. And he's just a dog. Like, he's got all these things, and he's just also at 100% at all times. There's never a moment on the court where you're like, man, Collin, he's not bringing it, right? That's steady. Like, that's consistency. Talk about consistency shooting, consistency passing or rebounding. How about just consistency with your energy and your effort level at that size? It's so impressive with Collin. Any final thoughts on our dudes of the night, who also have a pretty good two-man game on the court as well, and Collin Gillespie and Oso Ighodaro?
One final thought. I think it was you, Steven, or Espo. Both of you might have pointed it out, but when Collin threw that lob to Jalen, he talked about how he's a big cheerleader of Jalen in a complimentary way, and I think that's something that needs to go into consideration when settling on the final starting lineup. I think back to when Jalen made the game winner against Orlando. It was Collin that held the game ball for him, handed it to him. It was like, I got my dog back. Like, having that type of chemistry in your backcourt is not a small thing, and I think that's really important potentially when you think about this starting unit and seeing the way these guys play off of one another and enjoy playing with one another.
And for everybody that loves to try to talk about or dismiss leadership when they don't think it's leadership, that is very much a form of leadership. It's not just being a good teammate. That's infusing confidence in somebody that might not necessarily need it per se, but you can never be put, you can never have too much confidence be put in someone, especially someone that's coming back from injury like Jalen Green is.
I think it goes beyond confidence too. I think it's comfort. I think sometimes you can be the most confident person in the world, but if you don't feel comfortable in the situation that you're in, that it's not going to translate. I think it's about making this guy comfortable in his new home, and I think his teammates, in particular Collin, have done a great job of that.
Last thing from me, shout out to Toby in the chat who has coined the nickname, and this might replace the connector. Oso, I'm a dog, yo. I like that one.
No, it's
like
the connector.
Also,
it's the
I'm a
connector.
dog, yo.
No.
Collin Gillespie.
Yeah, I saw that. Not. You don't have that much
nickname
swag.
Like Gil, man. That's crazy. All right,
We make a good-looking kid, I think, Gil. I think you look better than Collin.
It is 12. That
I'm
is a
sorry,
12:14.
what the hell?
That is a
Okay.
12:14
We're gonna
a.m.
talk
comment right
about
there.
Rasheer Fleming. Speaking of kids, the rookie on the other side of this break.
I don't even know what ad we're going to here. Oh, Circle K. Yeah. I mean, it's late. Yeah. You can go to Circle K. Yeah. Circle
New
K.
tagline.
Become a member of the Inner Circle today and get great deals on gas. Yeah, you need some gas. You're looking at, hey, it's 12:15. I got to drive all the way out to East Mesa and I got no gas in my car. You know where I'm going to stop? Circle K, because as a member of the Inner Circle, I'm going to save 25 cents off per gallon on my first 5 Phillips. Then after that, I'm going to save 3 cents off per gallon. Then I'm going to hit that Freckle Mamba level. I'm going to save 5 cents off per gallon. It is that easy when you become a member of the Inner Circle today. Plus, you can get 79-cent Polar Pops, 99-cent Frosters, and some great deals on food as well. So make sure to download that Circle K app today and put in a little bit of your information. You get your Inner Circle membership for free. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Pure edibles. Yeah, that's how I feel.
Circle K.
Pure edibles. Look, Pure Edibles, founded by 3 ASU alumni, and ASU knocked off Kansas, had to sneak it in somewhere. But, of course, Pure Edibles, they don't just taste like weed. They taste like actual candy. And it's not just the taste, but it's the effects, which are clearly listed on every single tin, so you know exactly what to expect. They blend CBN, CBG, CBD, and marijuana-derived THC. Let's say you're having trouble sleeping after a riveting Suns win over the Kings late on a Tuesday night. Boom, take the sleep gummy. You want to be uplifted during the day? Boom, take the uplifted gummy. It's easy. It's not indica sativa hybrid. It's exactly how it's going to make you feel. Plus, Pure gummies are designed to be ripped or bit in half, making them easily shareable or easy to dial in your exact dose. So go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. PHNX Suns.
Yeah.
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 Hit that like button.
Woo.
Yeah.
Bet if our podcast and your podcast had a baby, it'd be a good show.
Hit that subscribe
Yeah.
button. Nobody's doing this, man. Nobody's doing this.
No.
Nobody's doing it, but
Nobody.
nobody.
Definitely that.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that.
Hey, I have a kid.
Our blue collar boy of the night, presented by Steven, is Rasheer
Shouts to the young
Fleming. By the way,
Rasheer.
Rasheer Fleming completely robbed of rebounds by the scores book, by the way. 8.6 rebounds officially. I'd say he had at least 8 rebounds himself. An assist, a really nice assist, and 2 of 3 from deep in his 15 minutes. This is what Suns fans have been waiting for so long. These conversations of when will Rasheer Fleming play? When will Kaman Malawach play? Oh, the Suns need shooting from the big position. Oh, they need size. They need length. They need all of this athleticism. And boom. Tonight, Steven, you saw all of it in just 15 minutes. Dare I say, the best game of Rasheer Fleming's young, hopefully promising career.
Yeah, I would say so too. Defending without fouling, continuing to find ways to impact the offense outside of just shooting a three, but also being able to reap the benefits of his extra efforts on the glass. And I want to start there. That's probably going to be his most immediate way to provide impact to the offense is by simply gaining possessions for them. And we get the second half stretch where he gets 2 offensive rebounds in back-to-back possessions, both of them in a very similar situation that is very repeatable for him. So look at who's guarding him in those situations and what that in turn presents an opportunity for him. So you're putting a smaller guard on him that you don't necessarily want involved in primary action. Okay, cool. But they still have to box out. And they have to box out because he's been given the green light to go and just attack the offensive rebounds, tag up. And by him being able to go and crash against these smaller guards, hit them on the side that he's coming from, move them off the spot, and then get those extra possessions on each one of those. One time he's able to relocate for a 3 on the same side that he came from. The other time he's able to get a 3 from the other side on the around the break area of the floor. Knocks down the 3. And then I think his possession after that, he got the steal. He played some part about the defense and then got the oop. Like, it's all of these multiple efforts, but by way of the process and the demands being placed upon him to sustain with receiving minutes is why he's in this situation now where Jordan Knott has to play him. It's that time on task that we talked about, that consistent execution. Give him something to do. He does that, and then he doubles down and does it again. He's finding that impact, and I just don't see a moment where he's going to be relinquishing that hold on that spot that he has in the rotation at this moment. The other one for me, too, though, defensively, man. It's like the length and activity is one thing, but there's a certain disposition he has now they didn't quite have earlier this season. It felt like there was some unsurety at times with him. Now it feels like he's very much confident in what he's doing, and that disposition is now picking up guys her eye up the floor. He's really getting physical with guys, but doing so without fouling. He's in a very good space right now.
He got a block that was also taken away earlier in the game. I don't know. What is it about?
Backstroke kind of block,
What is it about Sacramento, man? Like, they can't win games. They can't count. Like,
it's the first three letters.
I mean,
you say it's the first three letters.
Three letters. That's exactly how they're acting right now.
I mean,
it makes no sense how you taking away stats from somebody that even a live feed highlighted.
Yeah,
multiple times.
Yeah,
they highlighted
blocks,
it multiple times.
Rebounds,
like that. Yeah,
I don't bitter.
But 8 straight points. 8 straight points from Rasheer, and I think with the threes, one of them was a pretty wide open three. One of them, Gil, was like a contested three, and with his wingspan, with how tall he is and how fast his release is, if he could start hitting shots that have a slightly higher degree of difficulty, well, that I think is going to snowball for him in the confidence department as well.
Absolutely. And with respect to him, and honestly, it's very fitting as this kind of builds on the Oso conversation, this is what player development looks like. And it's important to stress with Rasheer Fleming, he has not skipped any steps. And you've, Steven, seen the Valley Suns games, and you've seen what he's done in those positions and everything that he's been asked to do in those positions and the small minutes he's been given here or there, what he's done in those minutes and in those moments. And we've talked about hanging on to those moments. And I think that now they've kind of gotten to this spot, right? And it's like kind of preparing a meal, developing a player. And some meals take longer to prepare. Some are quick. Some are ones you got to really put some care and effort into and keep a watchful eye over. And I think we're at this point now where we're ready to see the full thing with Rasheer Fleming, and we're seeing him piece it all together. It's not just a shot making. It's not just the effort plays. It's the presence. We comment all the time about his length, and it's not like he's just out there listlessly moving around. He knows the type of space that he takes up. When he just stretches his arms out as a defender, that is so imposing to just try to get around somebody who's putting up a, 7'3" wingspan to get around him as a defender. So this is what we're seeing with him, and I think it should, one, inspire confidence in what he's going to continue to do and how he's going to continue to grow. But it should also remind you that, look, Oso is further along on that plan, and Man is further behind in that plan, but he's going to get to these next steps. So I am most encouraged. Obviously, it's about Rasheer, but I think it is a reminder of what this coaching staff and this franchise is doing as far as developing players, and we're seeing it in real time with Rasheer Fleming.
Well, and you got to give him credit for the fact that he's been given this opportunity and he's not squandered it.
Right.
Like, guys could be put in that position and not be able to carry the load, not be able to have the impact that Rasheer has over the last few games. And, quite frankly, I mean, Ryan Dunn hasn't stepped up to the level that we've seen Rasheer kind of live up to in these opportunities as well. And I think, and we said it during the watch along, I think Rasheer's making it very difficult to not give him minutes when you get into the play-in and playoff situation if he keeps this up in this opportunity, because he's hitting all those marks. He's playing great defense. He's rebounding. He's hitting those threes, and there's not much more you can ask when you're a team that's lacking size for a guy with that kind of wingspan, that height, to go out and have that kind of impact. Plus, he didn't score 10 points today, so I didn't have to drink milk out of the shoe. So I'm off the hook.
I would have cleared the sinuses out, though.
No, milk? No.
With the shoe.
No, milk's
you don't
like
think it doesn't get like a little
opposite.
acidic with the
the milk's opposite. That would clog it more.
A dash of cayenne.
Oh, wow.
Steven, what would it take to have you drink milk with cayenne pepper in it?
Not happening. Anyways, back to the basketball. So I was looking at some things a little bit.
The Suns win a championship.
I was looking at things a little bit
drink
earlier.
Milk with cayenne pepper.
And something I came across was
yes or no.
Looking at Rasheer Fleming and just the wingspan dynamic. He's ranked as having the 23rd widest wingspan in the league.
That's crazy.
That's insane. 23rd is insane. There's a bunch of bigs that are on the other side of 7 foot or right at the 7 foot mark. Obviously, he's not 7 feet tall. His wingspan is listed at 7'5" and 1/4.
I shortchanged him.
Yeah,
I shortchanged him.
by 2. Yeah, like, and it's funny to just think about it because you can see it like on the court when you're watching him defend, especially when he stretches out for what should have been a block shot, Eric, or if he's on the basketball, even if he's in like a passing lane or a driving lane, and he raises his hands up in the stance and they're up above his waist, it's ridiculous. And I think that you can't not have that in your rotation if you're a Jordan Knott company, so long as he's playing to a certain level, because there's simply no one else that can replicate that. If you want to play a lot of 3-guard lineups, you have to be able to balance that with some size and athleticism. And Rasheer is someone that's clearly kind of infusing that the last like 4 games for them now.
And what I've liked is the offensive rebounds from him. They're not just going up and grabbing him with 2 hands and pulling him down at the rim. Like, he's anticipating and kind of like splitting the difference between a couple of defenders and using his arms to kind of punch or poke the ball out. Right? Which are, plays that might go unnoticed and might not get him a rebound in the box score, but they save possessions, right? And they've led to points. And so to know that, yeah, he can go out there and he can grab the rebounds, and we've seen him grab some pretty crazy ones, but he can also just like, hey, if I get a couple fingertips on this ball and I can hit it out to Collin Gillespie or Devin Booker, nobody else can get to the ball faster than me because of my wingspan first and my athleticism second. These are the things that as he continues to play and he continues to learn on the fly, he'll continue to get better and better at. It's why a lot of people have been advocating for him to get more playing time earlier in the season, and hopefully now those people can start to feel vindicated because he's playing well, but the Suns can also feel vindicated and saying we played the long game and so far so good, and maybe this lets everybody take a little bit of a deep breath when it comes to Kaman Malawach as well, because like I said earlier in the show, you've got Oso, right? You've got Rasheer. I know that Ryan is maybe a little bit of a different conversation. And you think Kaman's going to fall into that category of, hey, we see something with you. We see your strengths. We're going to find the best way for you to hit your peak. And that might not be the way that fans feel instantly gratified
I got
for.
3 things real quick. For one, Man has been playing basketball significantly less time of his life than anybody else that you're comparing him to. That in itself, if you're talking context-wise, should be applied to it. You take that he's playing, 11 to 12 years less than everybody else that's in the mix with who you're comparing and contrasting him with. Give him some grace. Number 2, someone asked about Tari Eason. Tari Eason's wingspan is 7'2". It has, which is what I'm looking at.
Hold
right
on,
now.
he has 3 inches in his wingspan compared to Tari Eason?
Correct.
Holy hell.
Yes. Number 3, just looking at average wingspan per position. So if you think Rasheer is a 3, average wingspan is 6'11" and 1/4. If you think Rasheer is a 4, average wingspan is 7 foot and 0.6. So not quite to a full foot 7'1", but getting close to that if your math teachers taught you to round up. And then the center position, the average wingspan is 7'3.5". So he's
Holy
significantly further ahead in that process on the wing at the 3 and the 4, and he's even got a wider wingspan than most 5s. Evident by him being 23rd in the league in wingspan.
Man, if Bradley Beal had had that wingspan, he wouldn't have had to bent over to retie his shoe every time he went down the court.
Dang. I was just going to say that
I can't.
somebody with long arms, how does he buy shirts? Because I have a tough time buying shirts that fit my arms. So.
And
Custom made.
He's got a little bit different tax bracket than me.
Something else that's funny about Rasheer, I've had the pleasure of shaking his hand a couple of times. He can shake his hand from where the screen is.
That must have been great during COVID. He's like, social distancing. What's up, man?
Don't come past my hand.
No, but to that point though, if you happen to get past him, you didn't really beat him because he still has the reach to get right back into the vicinity. But also, even if he doesn't actually block it, he's just playing into the mindset. Okay, you won, but this tree, this weeping willow tree, is kind of lurking behind you.
Weeping.
Crazy.
Yo!
It's crazy, man.
The weeping willow kind of rips.
If he and Kawhi went to shake hands, one could be at half court, one could be at the baseline.
I just want him to get in the gym.
As long as that's the
if that is possible at all, and he's
as long
able to
as it's
get
just the gym.
And he's yes, if he's able to get 50% of Kawhi's
All of a
game.
sudden, Rasheer
Oh,
Fleming's got
yeah.
an uncle in town.
I don't
Money,
know
money,
if there's
money,
a better.
money.
I don't know if there's a better player for him to latch on to.
Hey, Rasheer, we've got some trees you could plant if you want to come be a guest. All right.
Cacti to plant here. Final thoughts on Rasheer Fleming before we take a break. And I've got good news and bad news for everybody on the other side of this break. But final thoughts on the good news of tonight, which was Rasheer Fleming.
I would just shout out assistant coach Chasen Allen. That's been who he's been working skill development wise with hip to hip pretty much since he got to the Suns. And they've been doing a lot of things to branch out his offensive game, not just to stand still, catch and shoots, working relocations, working 1 and 2 dribble pull-ups, working playing off of step backs through contact in the mid-range. Rasheer's in a good space. He hasn't really had a chance to showcase those next step elements of his offense, but he's definitely working to fine-tune his game past just the catch and shoots. And I just imagine that's all kind of playing to the confidence that he has right now.
I swear to God.
You said that before, Aiden.
I think Aiden is me from a different timeline. Holy crap, man.
Also, shout out to Steven. It's like the Matt Barnes trying to get Kobe to flinch. It's like, I'm asking him to drink milk with paprika and or cayenne in it. Espo's laughing at the comments. And meanwhile, Steven's like, shout out to Jason Allen, man. Like, it's Steven, nothing
shout
to
out.
break the
Like
focus. Well, like I promised, I have good news for everybody, and I have bad news for everybody. And you're going to have to figure out exactly what that is on the other side of our final break.
It's me not knowing what the ad is yet again. Oh, it's the husband and wife law team. I got to tell you, if you've been in a serious accident that has led to injury or, God forbid, wrongful death, the last thing you want to do is have to try to figure out who your lawyer is and not get it right. And if you do your research, it's going to lead you to Mark and Alexis Breyer, the husband and wife law team, and you are going to get everything that you need because they are part of the 1% in the Arizona bar that are certified when it comes to wrongful death and serious injury cases. You are going to be able to go to trial because they guarantee you if you need to, they will go to trial. Plus, they're going to make sure that more money winds up in your pocket than to their bottom line. That is their promise to you. So if you've had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website in the show notes and tell them PHNX sent you.
There are a few times with ad reads that it's like, this is just meant to be. And this is one of those because I'm here to tell you about our good old friends, Shady Rays. Now, I say this not really facetiously, but Shady Rays kind of like saved my life. I've been dealing with some health stuff recently that has made my eyesight very sensitive to lights and everything. So I've been wearing lots of sunglasses on air, and luckily Shady Rays has been perfect because not only do they look good, but they feel good too. Now, Shady Rays, they changed the game. These sunglasses are made for real life. Seriously good looking, polarized, durable, and not stupidly expensive either. And here's the wild part. If you lose or you break them, even on day one, Shady Rays will send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, just replacements. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code PHNXSR for 40% off. 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's shadyrays.com. Use code PHNXSR for 40% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to the Rockets fan in here at literally 12:30 in the morning after a win against the Kings, trying to troll. I mean, that is dedication to the level of the extreme, and we appreciate that. So,
thanks for being here, Katie.
I have good news and I have bad news. We'll go with the good news first. The good news comes in tandem with our Love the Play presented by our friends over at the Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today if you're over the age of 21. Of course, our Love the Play is the Jalen Green alley-oop fast break slam. And to commemorate Jalen Green's first alley-oop for the Suns, the Freckled Mamba has added a Jalen Green emoji for our members. You can become a member at that join button, which is where the subscribe button usually is, but you've already hit the subscribe button, so you know that. Become a member, get access to exclusive emojis, exclusive content, and a prepaid super chat for every month that you are a member for just $5 a month. Look at that beautiful Jalen Green emoji in chat. Okay, that's the good news.
Never mind.
What?
I was saying, don't usually do the bad news first and the good news like.
No, because the bad news is what we're going to talk about here for the last couple minutes of the show.
That's fair.
The bad news is that the Phoenix Suns have an elephant in the room, and specifically the center room. because there's a conversation that needs to be had about Mark Williams, and we've had an in-depth one before, but if you look at just the stats tonight for Mark, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field, 4 of 6 from the line, not terrible, Gil. But if I remember a lot during our watch-along, which I hope I do, there were a lot of moments you're like, kind of saying like, Mark, you got to do this little thing here, do this little thing there, you got to seal, you got to run faster, you got to get to the paint more. What is it about Mark Williams' game to you, Gil, that doesn't feel like it's connecting right now? Sorry, what is on the screen? What the?
Back to it, to answer your question. I'm not as composed as Steven. We all can aspire to be better about that.
Wait. No way, dude. No.
Throughout the game.
Just wait, hold up. Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen.
Thank you. Please let people know why I'm struggling right now.
Did you AI generate a kid?
I combined us.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to walk out.
That's Gil and I. Get a fun it.
Did you not do the ad read because you were AI generating an image of you and Gil as a baby?
No, my Notion had shut down, but yeah, there you go.
Good looking kid.
I told you it'd be a good looking kid. So
why?
Inspired by the old Conan O'Brien, if they made it a bit. Gotta go late night TV. This is great for audio.
I can't do this.
If you guys can't tell, I'm crying laughing right now.
Oh, somebody's calling HR in
Wow.
a few hours. Sorry.
That
Honestly,
was the bad news.
Honestly, that was the bad news.
That was the bad news.
That was the bad news.
I don't even, honestly, you know what? We'll talk about the rest of this game tomorrow. You can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. That's on Twitter and on Instagram as well. We will not, I promise you, we will not be posting that picture.
Brian,
on our
we
Twitter
missed the baby shower.
our Instagram account. Fire Lord Wilson says the center problem's been solved.
Not if it got my genetics.
We do have a super chat. We have a super chat here before we go from Trevor. Thank you so much, Trevor. Saying Green looked comfortable out there with Book back. That's right. And that's our big takeaway.
Nobody looks comfortable in here now.
I don't think I've ever seen Steven like this, man. Bro, look at Steve.
Oh man, this is a core workout.
This is one of those moments where if you're listening on audio, you gotta go on YouTube.
Oh,
you have to. Make sure you subscribed.
This is why winning's fun, people. This is why winning is fun.
Oh my God, could you imagine if they lost this game?
Deborah, great pre-show watch along and this.
That's the meanest thing Deborah's ever said. That's the meanest thing Deborah's ever said.
And this.
And this. Deborah, and I say that in a loving way. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Even Boom Chakalaka's laughing. All right, look at
Steven,
that.
any final thoughts?
Absolutely not.
You can follow the Freckled Mamba at Freckled Mamba behind the Mac, being forced against his will to put those pictures on the screen as always. You can follow
Sean
Steven
wants the emoji.
at Steven PG3. That's Steven with a PH, because Lord knows he balances us out. Does anybody know if Devin Booker's playing right now? That's a callback to the wall.
We all silly like the mayor.